If I had a set amount of dollars to spend on inputs on the farm, this would be the first thing I'd spend money on.
2-3 month period in, all of a sudden when those cows started cycling and showing heats, I have to say that's as strong heats as I've seen in cows in my life.
We had dung beetles back. That's dung beetles working in there already.
Which is like gold.
Yes, I mean, it's like a magnet. That's just amazing. Those dung beetles are something else.
Hey, good morning, friends. We are here in beautiful Leopold, Indiana, and it is a beautiful day. A little cloudy, but man, Indiana is gorgeous. It's so green down here. This is Dan Steckler with Essential Energy, and we are with Stan Steckler of Grass Corp, and he is a beautiful farmer and he has a lot going on.
We are a grass-based farm. Basically, we kind of specialize in raw dairy, but we've got all the other animal proteins as well. We do pork, chicken, turkey, beef, eggs, and that sort of thing. So we're basically direct marketing. We've started down this journey. Well, we moved onto this farm 20 years ago, and we've been working on this for most of that time. We've been doing some form of direct marketing. Everything goes direct to the customer now. So anyway, we're very concerned with quality, making the best we can possibly make for the people that we serve. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So 20 years we've been on the farm. We noticed in the summer of, I don't know what summer it was, 5-6 years ago now, probably, we started seeing an uptick in problems with the cows as far as like laminitis, pink eye, and that sort of thing. And each summer seemed to get just a little bit worse, and it got to a point where we were trying some things to help offset that. Instead of getting better, it got worse. So I was introduced to the geofields at a grazing conference, and tucked it away in the back of my brain, didn't think much of it, and something made me pull that out of my hat and go take a look at it and see what this actually is. This was in the springtime, till I got around to doing my investigating and checking up on it. We actually got a unit ordered through the spring, and until we got that unit, got it here and got it set up, what I didn't realize is we had a pretty major catastrophe unfolding before us. Those summer issues got extremely worse that summer. We had a few cell towers come in, a few more cell towers came in close. I have to think had something to do with that. Anyway, it got to a point where we were losing quite a few cows. Cows were dying on us for various reasons. They would go down. Some of them would go down within a few days, seeming fairly normal to being dead. We lost a pretty good percentage, probably a third of the herd ultimately before it was all said and done. Ended up dying on us for various reasons. We brought the unit in. As it unfolded over time, 2 months in, we started seeing some things really start to change. By the third month, it was obvious something was different after the geofield was in. What I didn't realize too, the cows had quit cycling. They weren't breeding. It didn't seem to be that much of a problem for us previously, but that summer it became an issue, and I hadn't realized it until this all started to unfold. That 2-3 month period in, all of a sudden when those cows started cycling and showing heats, I have to say that's as strong heats as I've seen in cows in my life. They were showing very strong heats at that time and starting to cycle, so things were rebred. We were able to replace some cows, keep ourselves running that way. So it seems as though there's been some marked improvements that have been made, progress to be had for sure. But we're almost a year into it now, and we're seeing some positive signs along the way. So I'm still encouraged. There was a period manures changed a little bit. They did seem to be. It's just something we observed that we'd not seen before. It seemed abnormal to us. Anyway,
yeah.
It amounted to a huge deal, but it was something that we observed for sure. Yeah, we could tell when we first got the unit. We actually just temporarily set it up on the porch real quick just to play with it, and within 2 hours the cows out in the pasture were behaving differently. So we were clued in right away and like, oh boy, what's going on here? We suspected it had something to do with the unit. They're more willing to be out grazing at a time when they wouldn't have normally, just more active in the pasture. That was really the reason we moved to this farm, was to the place we were on before. We had issues with stray voltage, we believed, and that was the whole search, was for a place that was free of that. So we're fairly rural here where we are, but as over time, over the 20 years we've been here, the pollution in general is getting worse.
Yeah.
We have actually, the entire time we've been on this farm, we've been pasture based. Everything, there was some crop ground on the farm. We had seeded it all down initially to pasture, and it's been that way ever since. We're no grain. All the ruminants receive no grain. It's all grass only and hay, forage. So yes, it's something we've been working on, is trying to get diversity, plant health, build soil, regenerate the soil. It's been an interesting year. This spring it's been cooler than normal and wetter than normal all year. We've already got, here we are the 15th of July, and we've already got as much rain as we normally would get on average in an entire year. So we've had abundance of water. We've got a lot of growth, a lot of biomass in general. There's a lot of diversity going on.
Yeah, it's more plant diversity for sure, but insects and things as well. We're seeing new plants, we're seeing new insects. Probably this spring, the dung beetles, we had dung beetles back, and that's the first time we really noticed them working much. So a lot of things are changing, having a lot of positive things happening. So not sure how much to attribute to the geofield, but there are some good things going on. That was just dropped this morning. Within the last hour, that hit the ground.
Okay, and those holes, those little holes are the signs of the dung beetle.
The little holes, that's dung beetles working in there already.
Which is like gold.
Yes, I mean, it's like a magnet. That's just amazing. Those dung beetles are something else.
My sons were doing some testing this spring with a Brix meter, checking sugar brick levels, just pretty randomly through the spring one day. And previously we would run anywhere from 4 to 6 or 7 Brix on grass. Was not uncommon just a few years ago. This spring they started testing, and he told me they were getting anywhere from 9 to 13 Brix as an average across things. He had one particular spot on one of the farms. He took a picture of the refractometer. Actually, it was pretty stunning. It was well up in the 23 to 25 Brix readings on grass, and he duplicated that twice, just within a few feet of each other. Did it the second time just to check and make sure, but apparently there was a spot where there was some composted manure or something going on. So we're wondering, we don't know, but we're wondering what effect this geofield might have had on the Brix readings in general. Production wise, the cows were carrying better condition this spring. Seemed to be more of a short, slick hair coat in the milking herd, but where we really saw the difference was on the farm where we had that one really high Brix reading. We had some yearling aged heifers, 18-month-old stuff that was looking very nice. I have to say, I'd not seen a group of heifers with that kind of condition and hair coat quality and vibrancy in the whole time we've been here, for sure. And this is all just on pasture alone. We were pretty excited about that.
Oh, it's simple. It's just another, every once in a while check up on it, make sure it's all set right. But other than that, it's pretty much hands off. As far as integration is concerned, nothing to it really. From a workload standpoint, no, there's just nothing to it.
Yeah,
it's very simple. We run a group of turkeys that we'll raise through the summertime and into fall for Thanksgiving. So they were exposed to the geofield unit the last season when they were growing, and they grew out pretty well. As well or above average for sure. No numbers to back that, but they did pretty well. Chickens had pretty good growth rates and all that.
Good.
we were, yeah, that all worked pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we are working with some of the other minerals with Dr. Will, but we're not into that far enough. I don't think that we can draw any conclusions or point any results in that direction yet.
Yeah.
I think we will. I think that's something we're going to see some improvement on.
Yeah.
But we're not to that point yet. So most of what's going on here, I would not necessarily attribute to that.
Right.
But just trying to do grazing management and all that, and soil regeneration, some of the management practices there, we're trying to improve along the way. But this spring has definitely shown us more improvement than we've seen yet to this point. Again, we had some conducive weather to make that happen, but a lot of good things happen. So I think it drives everything. Next, as far as in order of importance, next to water, I would say that falls right in line as number 2. I made a comment to someone in speaking about this. I said, if I had a set amount of dollars to spend on inputs on the farm, I said this would be the first thing I'd spend money on.
So that's a pretty strong recommendation.
That's the way I feel about it at this point. I know there's a lot more to be had, and we'll see how it all unfolds. But at this point, seeing some pretty drastic things happen.
Great.
Just that, it's there. The energy is so important. It affects everything. I mean, it's all life, what life's really about, and health and quality of life. It's I'm a simple-minded person. I like to live simply. In my mind, if everything in nature's realm is working the way it should be, life can be simple, it can be enjoyable, it can be good.
Great. Well, thank you, Stan. I really appreciate you taking the time today. Tell us you've been about a year in that you've been using it, which is a great time frame to see the seasons and get into first spring, but second summer. So thank you very much for taking the time today.
Sure.
Great to be here. Yeah.